In a world of noise, chaos, and endless distractions, there are people who pause, who bow their heads, who whisper words that are centuries old. They do this not out of habit, but out of love, devotion, and faith. This is Islam, and at the heart of it stand 5 pillars. They are not walls that keep people out, but foundations that hold people together. And today, we'll journey through them, not as outsiders looking in, but as humans searching for meaning. There are words so simple, yet so powerful. Allah illa Allah, wa Muhammad abdu Allah, wa Rasulullah. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. This is Shahada, the first pillar of Islam. It is not just a sentence, it is a compass for the heart, a single phrase that can change a life. Centuries ago, in the harsh deserts of Arabia, a man named Bilal ibn Rabah faced chains, heat, and cruelty. He was a slave, yet his spirit was free. Every lash, every insult could have broken him, but he whispered one word repeatedly: Ahad, Ahad, one, one. Shahada is not about ritual. It is about trust. Trust that even when the world is cruel, there is a higher power guiding the heart. Every believer repeats it daily in prayers, in thought, in reflection. But the moment someone speaks it for the first time, it is an awakening. Imagine a young girl, hesitant and nervous, speaking these words for the first time. Her voice shakes, her heart races, and yet when the words leave her lips, something inside her clicks. She feels a sense of belonging, a connection to millions across time and space. Shahada also teaches humility. It reminds the believer that life is not about ego, power, or wealth. It is about surrender. Surrender to something greater than oneself. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, described faith as light, and Shahada is that light. It shines in the darkest moments. It guides lost souls to hope. Shahada is not only for the individual, it connects communities. Every time it is spoken in prayer halls, in homes, in streets across the world, it unites millions in a single truth. Even today, across cities, countries, and continents, the words echo, a reminder that faith begins with a single step, a single phrase. It is the first pillar and the foundation of a believer's life. Simple, powerful, eternal. And so whenever you hear these words, remember they are not just sounds. They are a doorway to faith, a doorway to hope, a doorway to something greater than yourself. There is a sound that rises before dawn, soft and gentle, yet it commands attention. Allahu Akbar, God is greater. It drifts through quiet streets, sleepy villages, and vast deserts alike. This is the call to Salah, the daily prayer that marks the rhythm of a Muslim's life. Salah is more than ritual. It is a lifeline between the soul and its creator. 5 times a day, believers pause, stop their work, their worries, and bow their hearts in submission. Imagine a student, overwhelmed by exams, sitting at a cluttered desk. He looks at his notes, stressed, and then closes his eyes for a brief prayer. For a moment, the chaos dissolves. He feels calm, centered, connected. A shopkeeper, counting coins in the middle of a bustling market, pauses, folds his hands, and bows. A mother at home kneels quietly, her children playing around her. An elderly man, frail but faithful, whispers his words, trembling yet unwavering. Prayer is not an obligation. It is an act of devotion, a reminder that life is not just about rushing forward,
but about pausing, reflecting, and connecting. Centuries ago, Bilal ibn Rabah, a former slave, was chosen by the Prophet Muhammad to be the first muazzin, the one who calls believers to prayer. Despite torture and oppression, he never wavered. His voice, echoing Allahu Akbar, became a symbol of unwavering faith. Salah teaches discipline. Each day is punctuated by prayer, a constant reminder that life requires both action and reflection. No matter the joy or grief, the believer stands, bows, and submits. Every posture has meaning: standing, bowing, prostrating, sitting. Bowing teaches humility. Prostration reminds the believer that all power belongs to God. Sitting is reflection. Rising is resilience. Even the silence between words is full of meaning, moments for the heart to speak without sound. In modern cities, Salah connects the ancient to the present. Amid skyscrapers and busy streets, the call to prayer still rises. It reminds us that despite chaos and progress, some truths endure. Faith is not convenient. It is persistent. A young woman in London whispers her prayer at midnight. A businessman in New York pauses in the middle of Wall Street. A fisherman in Indonesia kneels by the sea, waves crashing around him. Salah is about community. When thousands gather in a mosque, standing shoulder to shoulder, moving in harmony, it shows that faith is both personal and collective. Even alone, the believer feels connected to millions worldwide. Yet Salah is also intimate. It is the whisper of gratitude at dawn, the plea for patience at noon, the quiet reflection at sunset. It reminds us that even in a vast world, our hearts are heard. Some say prayer takes time, but in truth, prayer gives time back. Time to breathe, time to reflect, time to feel alive in a world that rushes by. And in every bow, every prostration, every whispered word, there is a lesson that transcends centuries. Devotion is patient, persistent, deeply human. Salah does not promise a life without struggle, but it promises a heart that can endure, a mind that can rest, a soul that can rise. So when you hear the call, do not see it as a command. See it as an invitation to pause, reflect, connect, to find in the rhythm of prayer, the rhythm of life itself.
The third pillar, Zakat. There is a quiet power in giving, not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that heals hearts. This is Zakat, the third pillar of Islam. Every year, Muslims give a small portion of their wealth, usually 2.5%, to those in need. It is not charity alone. It is purification, a way to cleanse the heart from greed, selfishness, and attachment. Imagine a child, hungry, eyes wide with hope. A meal arrives from someone who has never met them. The child does not know the giver, but their heart swells with warmth. And the giver? They may feel they are giving a little, yet in truth, they are receiving so much more. Peace, gratitude, a connection to the world around them. Centuries ago, during the time of Caliph Umar, a man gave charity so secretly that no one knew his name. The poor who received it did not know who had helped them, and yet every night they prayed for the unknown hand that lifted them. That is the power of Zakat, unseen yet transformative. Zakat is not about numbers or wealth. It is about intention. A single coin given sincerely can change a life. A warm meal, a roof over a head, a smile for a child. These are priceless. Consider this. A widow, struggling to feed her children, receives help from a distant stranger. Her heart is lightened, her worries eased. The giver, meanwhile, feels a quiet joy that cannot be bought. Zakat also teaches responsibility. It reminds those who have much that they are not the owners of their wealth. Everything belongs to God, and what we hold is a trust to help, to share, to uplift. Modern examples echo this timeless lesson. Across the world, Zakat funds schools, hospitals, and relief for the poor. It provides food during famine, shelter after storms, medicine to the sick. It reminds us that generosity is not optional, it is essential. Zakat is also deeply personal. It challenges the ego, diminishes selfishness, and fosters empathy. When a person gives, they experience something profound, a sense of purpose, a sense of connection, a sense that they are part of something larger than themselves. And yet giving is not always easy. It requires sacrifice. It requires trust that, even if we part with something, the universe, God, or life will provide. One story tells of a man who gave everything he had to help an orphan family. He returned home with empty pockets, but his heart was full. The lesson is clear. True wealth is measured not by what we hold, but by what we give. And so, Zakat is more than a pillar. It is a reminder that humanity is interconnected, that we rise not alone, but together, and that the smallest act of kindness can echo across a lifetime. When a believer gives, they do not just lift another, they lift themselves. Zakat is a bridge between wealth and humility, between self and soul, between humanity and divinity. And in every coin, every act of help, every moment of selflessness, there is a whisper of something eternal, a reminder that giving is living, and living is loving.
The fourth pillar, Sawm. The sun rises and the day begins as usual. But for millions around the world, today is different. They will eat nothing until sunset. They will hold back from drinking, from anger, from wasteful words. This is Sawm, the fasting during Ramadan, the fourth pillar of Islam. Fasting is not punishment, it is training, a way to cleanse the soul, to strengthen patience, to awaken empathy. Imagine a child struggling with hunger for the first time. They feel the emptiness in their stomach, and suddenly, they think of those who face hunger every day. Sawm teaches compassion. A worker, tired from his shift, walks past a bakery, smells the fresh bread. He resists, knowing that his sacrifice is more than physical. It is mental, spiritual, emotional. Fasting is also a mirror. It shows the believer their weaknesses, their impatience, their habits, their anger, and then it offers a chance to rise above them. There is joy in breaking the fast. The evening call to prayer signals it is time. Families gather, plates are filled, water flows. But gratitude is the true flavor. Every bite tastes sweeter because the heart has known emptiness. Ramadan is also about reflection. It is a pause from the chaos of life, a chance to reconnect with what matters: faith, family, and humanity. Consider the story of a traveler far from home, fasting alone in a foreign land. He breaks his fast with strangers, sharing food and smiles. Sawm turns strangers into family and hunger into connection. Fasting is not easy. It challenges the body, the mind, and the spirit. Yet in that challenge lies the gift, a reminder that discipline brings freedom. Sawm also teaches mindfulness. When the stomach is empty, the heart is full. When desires are restrained, the mind can focus. When anger is controlled, the soul grows. And so, fasting is more than abstaining from food. It is an act of love. Love for oneself, for others, and for God. Millions of people experience this every year. From bustling cities to quiet villages, from deserts to mountains, all hearts beating in the rhythm of patience, reflection, and gratitude. Fasting is temporary, but its lessons are lasting. The hunger reminds us of abundance. The restraint teaches self-control. The reflection nourishes the soul. Sawm is the pause in life's constant rush, the quiet in the noise, the moment when a believer remembers that life is more than routine, more than indulgence. It is about gratitude, patience, and connection. And in every day of fasting, there is a whisper. Slow down. Look inside. Give thanks. Love more.
The fifth pillar, Hajj. Once in a lifetime, if one is able, a Muslim is called to journey to Mecca. This is Hajj, the fifth pillar of Islam. Imagine millions of people from every corner of the earth, rich and poor, young and old, black and white, all dressed in simple white garments, standing shoulder to shoulder. No titles, no wealth, no privilege, just humanity before God. Hajj is more than travel. It is a spiritual awakening, a chance to walk in the footsteps of prophets, to circle the Kaaba, a black cube that has witnessed prayers for centuries. There is a story of Malcolm X, who after performing Hajj wrote, "I have eaten from the same plate, drank from the same glass, and slept on the same rug with Muslims whose skin was the whitest of white and the blackest of black. All we were the same, brothers." Hajj erases barriers. It reminds us that in the eyes of God, we are equal. We come not for pride, not for show, but to submit, to humble ourselves, to belong. Every step of Hajj carries meaning. Walking between Safa and Marwa is a lesson in patience. Standing on Arafat is a reminder of life's fragility. Throwing stones at the pillars of Jamarat symbolizes rejecting evil. The journey is physically exhausting. The heat, the crowds, the long walks. Yet the spiritual reward is profound. Pilgrims leave their worries behind. They return renewed, their hearts lighter. Hajj also teaches humility. No wealth, no fame, no status matters here. All stand equal before God. A sea of humanity united in faith, devotion, and surrender. Modern Hajj continues the ancient traditions. Pilgrims from Asia, Africa, Europe, and the Americas converge. Their languages differ, their cultures vary, but their hearts beat with one purpose: devotion. Hajj is also deeply personal. In the quiet moments, a pilgrim whispers prayers, reflects on life, and seeks forgiveness.
In the crowds, one finds solitude. In the rituals, one finds meaning. And when the pilgrimage ends, the lessons remain. That faith is bigger than borders. That humility is greater than pride. That humanity is strongest when united. Hajj is the climax of a believer's spiritual journey. It completes the circle of devotion begun with Shahada. It strengthens the habits of Salah. It reminds one to give as in Zakat. It reinforces the lessons of patience from Sawm. And in every pilgrim's heart, there is a sense of wonder, a sense of belonging, a sense that the human spirit, when devoted, can reach heights beyond imagination. Hajj is not just a journey of miles. It is a journey of the soul, a pilgrimage into faith, humility, and the very essence of humanity. Closing reflections. So, these are the 5 pillars of Islam. Shahada, the words that anchor faith. Salah, the prayers that breathe life into the soul. Zakat, the giving that cleanses the heart. Sawm, the fasting that teaches patience. And Hajj, the pilgrimage that unites humanity. But beyond rituals lies something more. These pillars are not cages that limit, they are bridges that connect. They remind us that life is not just about surviving, but about meaning. That faith is not a burden, but a gift. And in a world often divided by race, money, and power, these 5 pillars whisper a timeless truth, that we are small before God, but great when we stand together. This is the story of the 5 pillars, not just the foundation of Islam, but lessons for humanity.